really outstanding. Hello, Anya. Teresa, you are. Okay. Well, I thought that Biden did a really good job. Um, I think he did an outstanding job. I really wasn't expecting much from him. Um, so I thought that was really interesting, and I think it's really positive. Okay. We have one person. I know this is late, so um, I'm just seeing it may not work out so well. I don't know. We'll wait and see if we can get up to at least 5 people and have a chat. I want to look at Bannon. Um, he's been, he was arrested and he posted bail, 5 million, I think it was, for his fraudulent, proven, if they were able to do this with him, fraudulent wall. So the people that he was involved with on this scam job, I remember seeing it on the internet actually and social media and thinking that is sketch as hell, but figured, yeah, they're doing this kind of stuff. And I could see the people leaving comments on the social media for their scam. Um, it just was watching cult minded people just throwing their money mindlessly. And the pictures that they showed, I remember thinking that the pictures, hello, Robin. Hi, T Barb. Do you remember um, the pictures of that? If you saw it on social media, I always came away with it was before I think before I had much of a channel going. I can't remember, but I remember seeing that and just thinking, when I did see it, thinking that the pictures they were taking looked sketchy as hell. It looked like a scam. And I always wondered, how are these guys doing that were doing this getting away with it? I didn't realize that Bannon at the time, I didn't realize he was involved in it because it was the way it was presented from how my botched memory recalls. But I know that it was, you saw it on Facebook when it was happening. See, I deleted Facebook in 2016 prior to the election in July. I remember it was summertime. Robin says, I wonder how much money the Trump family got out of it. Well, that's a good question because they, as most people know, gave now on camera a blessing to that, I think it was like a Coolidge or whatever guy that was involved. I just remember his name stuck out. And there's Steve Bannon, of course, and that this other guy who was part of the bunch of people that had this going was, there was two guys that were more at the face of it, and they are the other two guys that I guess were listed. And I was wondering, hello, yes, yes, Barb, like a grassroots thing. It was really odd in its presentation on social media. I remember seeing it and thinking, what the hell is this? Hello, Cardiomancy, Mesquite, and Robin, and Jay Bird, and Teresa, and everyone that are here. Hello, all 12 of you. Thank 13. Hello. So I'm looking, and so Trump is saying, oh, and then he's saying, oh, and he seemed kind of low energy and tired in his responses. Like I hardly knew the guy. His old trying to push away any associations. Like, oh, really, dude? but he was arrested by the Postal Service. And I do have some things that I'm wondering if he isn't willing to throw this out there, because I'm just thinking of the Postal Service issues and what he's been up to. But anyway, he seemed genuinely like just what I thought, surprised. He doesn't really know what's going on. And he's just kind of given moment to moment stuff because he doesn't want to be bothered about reality. He seemed genuinely um, caught unaware, I thought. Hello, Gma5. Hello, Face Pinner. So I'm going to look, since we've got 15 people in here, I'll go ahead and look. And I just want to see what I'm using the Haunted House Tarot, what Bannon's situation is going to, how that's going to flow. Why not? This is a chat, and if you want to donate, you should be able to. If you can't, that's okay too. I'm having the chat regardless. It's just an opportunity for people to leave me a tip, so to speak, for my content and late night reading of cards. I appreciate it, but if you can't, I appreciate your presence here too, and just get that out of the way. And this is all for entertainment purposes only, and it's allegedly, of course. But we're looking at Bannon, and we're going to see how does it look. I'm asking the ancestors, the creator, my spiritual guides to assist me to read to the best of my ability and accurately help me to relay the information. What is Bannon's future looking like at this point? How's that going to go? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, T. Barb. Thank you. I appreciate your donation. Okay, and I'll hold up the cards as best I can. I know the lighting isn't great. Okay, so, okay, we get the Ace of Wands. Well, activity is heating up. That is for sure where Bannon is concerned. And activity heating up with a male, a King of Wands. Now, there are other people involved in this. Hello, Sandra. It's fine. I'm no problem. Hello, everyone that is in here. I really appreciate you being in here. It looks like we've increased to 19. That's nice. Thank you for the 8 thumbs ups. That means a lot. I'll go on. So, Bannon has activity around a King of Wands that's picking up. It's like a new phase, if you will, the beginning phase of like somebody activity wise going for him. Okay. Did you guys? I hope that you guys could see that. Yes. Okay, good. Now I'm able to see on my. Okay. So this is what Bannon gets for his near future. Really, I tend to brain read this way, that the first card was the Ace of Wands, followed by the King of Wands. And this is the Haunted House Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. So, who is the guy that's seeking this out on him? On Bannon. This guy has finally been able. There was somebody listed, and I can't remember. But all I can say is he's got somebody that's going to be hot on his tail. Oh my gosh, yeah. And he's got the Fool and the 8 of Cups. Oh, trying to manage this while sitting in the right position for pressure ulcers, a bit tricky. So, oh my God, you guys. So look at that. Let's see. There we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry. Thank you about the cards. I'm sorry that I have to kind of get used to eye-hand coordination with camera and monitor. But Bannon gets the Fool and the Eight of Cups. He's not going. This is going to knock him, I think, wordless to some degree. And there's just confusion here with that Eight of Cups. Oops, this one. Sorry. So I don't know if he's just going to get sloppy or what, but it looks like he's caught off guard, and there's some confusion. There's some scrambling. It feels like uh, just a feeling of somebody's energy is caught off guard, and there's pursuit, a very active pursuit in his life by whoever this King of Wands is. Okay, and there's a real feeling of just kind of being blindsided. That's how I interpret that Fool card and that Eight of Cups. Hello, Donnell. Hello, Evil Ego. What up, Doc? So I'm getting that he's getting some. I think this activity for Bannon or what is coming down the pike for him is not something that he was really expecting. I don't, I think there's a bit of, I don't know, there's just a bit of delusion and confusion. And as usual with these guys, that's what I see with the Fool and the Eight of Cups and the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Now, is Bannon, gosh, it's been a while since I've even looked at anything. He's, no more necessary drama than I have to look at, right? But is he a fire sign? Because we have a fire sign with this is the first two cards, the King of Wands. I'm just trying to see who this court card might represent. Irregardless of who it represents, whether it's Bannon or somebody else, it definitely shows activity, a new phase. And it's talking about where you got to be thinking smart and thinking fast. This does not look like smart or fast. This looks like fast, but panicked and blindsided. Thank you, Deb Z. Please do hit the thumbs up if you can be so kind. Even if you can't donate, it's fine. But if you're in a bind yourself, just hit the thumbs up. I really that helps out more than you realize. It helps out with enabling further content that I can create with different features on YouTube that they allow you once you get so many likes and hours of time, different features. It unlocks it. So that's really essential. That's why everyone asks you to please hit our like button if you liked it, or even if you didn't like it, please, you can hit that too. It does help to unlock other features. So the thing is, it kind of looks like there's some confusion being woven here, as per usual with this activity. I think it's somewhat of a distraction. And I got to wonder, and what I meant to say earlier was with Donald Trump having hold of the postmaster general's, what's, that kind of makes me wonder at the timing that the postmaster, I don't want to begrudge them their work. But I want to acknowledge them rightfully bringing this guy in off of a yacht in Connecticut. God, I mean, like, you just can't write this stuff. We're going to have great programming for our writers and creative content makers for a long time. Once we get on the other side of this, hello, Mindset Lorraine, Janie De Los Santos, everybody that's here, hello. Just hit the thumbs up if you are enjoying the chat. That's really appreciated. If you want to donate, that's really appreciated too. Just want to put that out there. So right now, just to recap before I go into the next set of cards, on Bannon, I'm looking at activity surrounding a very, I think, focused male. I think this is somebody that's coming after Bannon rather than to his aid. I don't know. That's this is what it's showing me. And hello again to everybody just coming in. And he gets the Fool. He gets the Eight of Cups. So it just doesn't look like he's prepared for this, what this activity is. But is Trump throwing Bannon under a bus? Because I'm just wondering if he's being set up to try and distract. But I think that even if it is, it only makes Trump look worse because Trump has agreed and given on video record his blessing that was related to the guys that were involved in this scam. They, I think, were even using Trump gives, his blessing as a means of drumming up support. And from what I remember seeing, as I don't know how many of you noticed it, they were getting people. There was activity, and I was just thinking these people being scammed, but you couldn't tell them. Yeah, they would never believe it. That's what I'm wondering. Did Bannon, he walked, here's the thing. Did you, and I know that he plays mind games. He thinks that man has got so much hubris. His smug walking out after the 5 million bail was posted. Hello, Donna Motto. He looks so smug, and he just doesn't look. I can't say that he looked surprised. I can't say he did, but there's something coming that I don't think he's expecting. Clearly, with the Fool and the Eight of Cups, there's some confusion. Or maybe that's us. Maybe that's us looking, what's this activity about? This is weird. Is this a Donald Trump distraction? Because even if it is, I gotta say, it still makes him look bad. Because at the end of the day, there's record that they used of some kind of blessing being given from Donald to their little scam. There's a video of Don Jr. praising the vet involved in the con job. Oh my God. Good. But I'm still, if they're having to throw this out there, this still is making, to me, it's like a log on the fire. Bannon is in bigger trouble than the wall scam. I believe you are correct, Mindset Lori. Securities fraud, he is under investigation with Chinese billionaire. That's right. An exiled Chinese billionaire. And I do not know how you pronounce his name correctly. I think it's GUO, um, billionaire, but that's whose boat he was on. So this is just, I think we all need to like put on our collective, you know, uh, magnifying glasses here and look at this. He did get bail. It was $5 million bail. Barb says, I'm feeling like things were saved back to release at this time, election time. Why nothing happened for so long? That's what I wondered, Barb. That's what I wondered too, Barb. I wondered when I saw those things, I can't honestly tell you. I just remember seeing them and I was thinking, this is sketchy. These pictures don't look right. It more of that scammers scamming the scammers that are attached to this cult of Trump. And I wondered why, how long it would go on. I just thought, well, okay. Eric Prince also tooted the project when he was interviewed. Oh, really? On AJ. It's also international fraud. This is where now they're going to really get themselves caught up because it's not just about America, it's collectively global. And of course it is. One, because we're all interconnected, things we've been trying to tell these people for years, all of us that believe that we are. I guess time of Trump will keep writers and movie and TV shows in business for years. Oh my God, yes. I mean, it is a plethora. It is a plethora, but it could also have the thing of where it was just so real that, and we've already lived it, that it's almost like, I don't know how much of this I can honestly would say that I would watch. Although I don't know yet. I mean, I might have quite the stomach for it. I'll have to see. Who has that kind of money? Exactly. And he did it. He got bail quickly. Okay. He was arrested. He was not in there long and he was out. So I think it's a bit suspicious. I think it's a bit something I want to look at with caution. Um, because I would love to give the postmaster people that caught them, the officers, the postal workers there that caught him, went for him. I'd love to give them a pat on the back, and I just don't wonder if this isn't a distraction that they're throwing Bannon on the fire, because it would be very Trumpian to do that, and foolish and panicked and desperate. And I do see him doing foolish, panicked, and desperate things in my cards. Change for them after they all launder. Oh, wow. I'm thinking that's, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. It's no disrespect. I'm going to pronounce it for right now until I know better as maybe wow. I could be totally off. Ooh. So he is a wanted fugitive. And he's exiled from China, right? So, hmm. I keep telling my children and friends that they will tell their grandchildren what it was like living in the time of Trump. Yeah. I think I got a flash moment today, and I don't know if it was just my mind or not, but I was thinking of sometime in the future where people will be like, what? That's crazy. Get out of here. That really happened. Kind of like when they realized there was a Black Wall Street. and the Tulsa massacre. Um, it's like it happened, but because people just didn't have it switched on in their consciousness like it is now. Little different time situation, but it's one of those things. I think that at some point things could get well enough again, and once things go well, you forget about it until they're not going well. Because boy, you know, Obama really showed, as this has shown, how what a strength to strength president he was. For 8 years, we were lucky to have him, and how all that work, hard work, can be undone by a petty, vengeful, narcissist nut job who is a traitor and that is a loser and has to rely on hostile foreign nations. Some nice friends. Yes. The book The Dead Zone by Stephen King. Oh, I love Stephen King. I really do. He's so talented. Uh, and the movie made of it is an eerily prophetic about Trump. There is a video that compares Trump scenes with the movie scenes. Oh, I've got to watch that. That I will watch. I like that kind of a thing. I mean, if I can watch The Manchurian Candidate with Sinatra, which was really good, I still maintain I think it's one of the best versions of that film. Then I can definitely watch some Stephen King Dead Zone. I'd forgotten about that. I'm sure I've seen it. I'm sure I've seen it. So let's just check. Was Bannon, did he know before? Did Bannon know before? Was Bannon in, is this something Bannon was in on? Because he sure looked really sure of himself as he was, and I know that's part of his mind game too, but he sure was looking at, he loves the attention of the cameras. That's all I gotta say. I am in a very, I'm kind of caught, I'm not near the fires, but they're south of me and they are to the east across the bay of me. Um, our air is very smoky, and when I went to my doctor's appointment on Wednesday, um, what looks like initially when you're first looking up from from into outside, you think you can smell the smoke. Number one, in the air. Number two, it looked like fog, but it wasn't. It was smoke. It was that heavy, and it was white, um, heavy smoke, and it was coming from the East Bay. So, because the way I was driving was kind of north and a little east, enough to see it. So I'm fortunate that Manchurian Candidate is a good film. So I'm fortunate at this moment. I really don't want any fires because they will not do this to San Francisco, but to the town I do live in, Pacifica, they give us rolling blackouts. They won't do this with San Francisco or Oakland because they would not want total mayhem if they shut down the power. But what they do is they put us on rolling power outages, which I think has contributed to a problem with my sore. Because I awoke to a deflated bed and early in the morning that at 7:48 had shut off power to our house, lost power, and my bedding was completely deflated, and I was laying on the side of the pressure ulcer because I have to flip sides, but I fell asleep, and at some point when I turned, I was still laying on that side. So it led to a default setting with my bed, and I noticed that my wound is not looking as good as it should. So I'm a little worried there. You live in 1,000 Oaks. Oh my God. Absolutely mindset, Lorraine. Pray for the firefighters and pray that the fires do not get any larger. Um, it's not a joke. California's fires are crazy scary. And it really is a scary thing. That is a big worry, and you can tell. I mean, it smells very like fresh. I don't know how to describe it, like fresh smoke. I was so happy to see the actual fog coming in off the ocean from the east. I'm sorry, from the west. Duh. Because from the east we were getting the white smoke coming across, and you could smell it in on Wednesday. It's not a sleep number, no. This is a medical hospital bed. It's a low, what they call a low air style of mattress. And it's, oh, good night, Barb. Thank you for popping in. It's 3 a.m. here. Oh my God, Barb. Good night, sweetheart. Thank you so much for showing up. I am going to cut away from the chat for a moment and look at whether or not Bannon has been involved in this. If he's known like beforehand. Did Bannon know beforehand? I meant to get back to that. Did he have a drop on this? Okay, I think there was some preparedness because Seven of Pentacles. This is like a pause. It may not have been a great deal of notice, but he may have had been put on notice. It's just a feeling. The Seven of Pentacles is about preparation, is about going over a plan, looking over something. It's a, there's a calculated aspect of it. So I'm thinking he may have known, or he could have been given a, a heads up. Yeah. But I think it's going to be worse than he expects because it's the tower. Heads up, tower. Hello, human generic 777. It is supposed to have a bit of alternating pressure, this bed, but it doesn't have as much alternation wave as I would think it needs. And it got reset to static after our rolling power outage by PG&E. I've got to call them. I don't know if there's anything they are going to do other than tell me that I need to buy a generator, which is $1,000 or more. Used fires in Cali when he was in his 20s. He did it for 10 years and then he moved to Kentucky to be near me. Oh, wow. I don't know, Rajesh, can you smile? I'm not here for to be asked if I can smile. I'm reading cards. So, Bannon, I think he had some knowledge of this, but I think it's going to be more disastrous than they anticipate. I just think it's going to blow up in their face. Yeah, that's true, Deb. She says I might have to get like a doctor's letter for PG&E. I can do that. And no, I'm not doing that. I'm not removing it, but I will remove you because you're being a problem. Sorry, folks. I just got to deal with this person. I don't like harassment, so I'm the one having to. Oh, sorry. Oops. I'm trying to block. Deb, I'm not trying to block you. I'm sorry if I accidentally did block someone by mistake. No, it just shows raw geesh. I, the guy was just, I'm not putting up with that crap. So sorry, folks. Hang on a second. You can report. That's just a trolling. Yeah. So sorry, Deb. Yes, it's a medical, it's a letter saying that I have a medical necessity. I think you're absolutely right. And that is an excellent thing. Thank you for that, Deb Z. That's right, human generic. It's time to take out the human trash. Can you read on if any of the people who supports watch readers? Um, Thank you, Dawn. I think we have only hit the tip of the iceberg. I'm scared to see what is next. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. See, I'm seeing that I feel like he was given some heads up, but I think this is going to blow up in their faces with that tower. I think it's going to become something that they can't control. That's what I'm getting. So he might bail himself out, whatever, get bailed out 5 million, but this is not a good look. It will cause damage. I mean, you don't get the tower card for uh, any poor reason. This is not good. It's like, yeah, here's a heads up, but then boom, the tower. They do. There are Trump readers out there. They do. They do. They have taken notice of tarot readers because they troll us. There are people that troll us, and I do think they are people often from overseas, because it doesn't really appear that English most of the time it is a translated, poorly translated word salad. You can't really. It doesn't make sense, and it's not proper grammar, um, not enough to be understood. I can tell people, because my grandmother doesn't have English as her first language, who spell things phonetically, the difference between them and somebody that is from, you know, is trolling. Okay, you can tell the difference between how they write things and how they even position wording, right? And you can always, that's why I have to go and do rounds in my channel often, because I have to kind of filter it. It's just me doing it, so I can be a bit behind. So to answer that question, yes, they definitely um, pay attention to the tarot readers and the consensus. I have to say that they do. So there must be enough for them to send out their troll machines. Okay, Bannon's going to become more of a victim than he'd like to be, is what I'm getting. Um, Sorry about this. Let's see if I can. We get the Hanged Man and the King of Wands. So to me, this feels like Trump's going to throw him under a bus. I feel like this is somebody being thrown under the bus. This is someone being used as a obstacle, as a distraction. So I think Trump is definitely, and yes, Bannon is a victim of his own greed. I just don't think that he thinks, I tend to think he thinks he's going to be able to somehow deal with this, but I think it's going to fly right well out of his control, and it's going to blow up in their faces. Because I see him going back to prison. That hanged man, I often get that for when someone physically is confined. For me, it can be my bed rest. when I'm reading on myself. For somebody that's in jail, um, or going to prison, because I read a lot of like cold cases and stuff, you'll get this kind of thing where somebody is physically confined too. When I'm reading even on missing people, the hanged man comes out to indicate this person's not going to be going anywhere. They're stuck. And I think he's being put through the shredder machine, Trump's shredder machine, Trump's throw him under the bus plan. Haunted house deck. Yes, yes, Jennifer Taylor. Oh, he already said it, Deb Z. He said Trump has already been said on and is on camera as saying, when confronted with Bannon's arrest, he looked kind of stunned. He didn't look entirely like he knew what to say, other than the typical trot out that he does of, I really haven't dealt with him in a long time, I think is what he said. I think every day more and more of the crimes are going to be exposed. Yes, that's what I get with my cards. And I think a lot of readers out there are seeing is that there's exposure. I get a lot of cards when I'm reading privately and not recording it and uploading it to YouTube. I get a lot of cards like the sun, the tower, really dramatic shift cards that indicate we're going from one era literally to a new era. And at first, it's going to be a little surprising for us to wrap our brains around it because we've been so traumatized for the last 4 years. And people are really jaded. And it takes us a hot minute to kind of go, oh my God, thank God get the machine switched on and going to deal with this. But once it's on, look out. And it is on now. So it's already happening. And it's just being aware, being mindful. And that's why, like a lot of readers are doing, we're just showing you of things we pick up that are going on a more subdued level, that somehow we're able to sense with these symbols, right? And this is what we get, that more will come out. And that's why I also said in my video here recently, one of my videos, is that I think we're going to find out the names of more people on there, and I use the term roster of players that are involved in this, people that we didn't know about really so much, and it fits perfectly with Bannon and these clowns and this wall thing. Now, I personally, like I said, had no idea that Bannon was connected to this. I do think they are throwing Bannon under the bus as a distraction. Now that we are getting Biden coming out swinging with a fabulous um, exception, of taking up the Democratic nominee to go up against Trump. And Trump is going to look so pale by comparison. He's going to be a hot mess. That's what I think. That I want to see. Does Barr get arrested? You are so right. Even better than say, hi, hi, Patty B. Thank you, Mindset. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to look. Does Barr get arrested? Excuse me. I'm telling you, the air quality, though I am lucky to be at the coast, I do need to get a sip of tea, guys. It is creating, I can feel it. I didn't mind wearing, I got to tell you, I wore a mask also because of the smoke in the air. It was that, and it was enough to make me on Wednesday also, when I, of course, because I'm going to the doctor, but it made me uh, appreciate the mask actually. Good on morning owls. Yes, bless them. I think the universe, that is what I was telling my husband, Robin, is trying to set right. That is what I totally saw when I did the reading that I did this last one on Trump and the Mar-a-Lago. I got cards that showed me that the universe is going to pull the rug out, and he's going to feel loss. He is going to feel the pain that he's never felt in his life because he's been bailed out forever and a day. There's always been somebody playing daddy and cleaning up after him. Uh, and what is he going to do when, and I see that there are going to be, it's going to get to where nobody can help him. That it clearly showed me that, and it showed me that with the common threads oracle. It showed me a card of called free, and it didn't look free to me. There were actual bars on that card. And that was for Trump. Okay, just to refresh everyone on that. But let's see. Bars for bar. Bannon and Barr are easily confused. They are like the sleazy brothers of, they kind of look similar, salt and pepper colored hair, kind of the same, rolled over in a gutter look, um, boozy, don't look don't look healthy. Look like they're in some beginning phase of congestive heart failure or something. Hello, Renee. And hello to everyone that's here, just in case. I'm having to look over at my monitor. It's really a feat to juggle trying to read and keep up with the chat, I got to tell you. And 86 people that are becoming a pest. But let's see. Is it bars for bar? I'm just going to ask my guides to help me out real quick with that. Bars for bar? The devil. We get, I am trying to, because forgive me, because the lighting is funky. We get the devil. In asking if a bar will get bars, we get the devil. I think the devil's going to take the devil's due. And that was my message also. My God, I have to say, when I looked at Mar-a-Lago and about Trump losing Mar-a-Lago, it makes sense to me now. The universe is saying, I'm going to remind these clowns that they are not in power anymore, that their time is up, that they lived a certain lifestyle for a certain period of time, and they ran it into the ground, and then they had to pay the devil his due. I think Barr is going to pay the devil his due in one form, shape, or another. And because there are chained individuals or bondage, you can see that there. If I hold my, sorry for the ashy hands. I was putting out a candle earlier. Um, so I think he will. In a one card answer, bars for bar, I'm going to go with it and say, I think so. And I'm going to clarify. Oh, yeah, look at that 10 of wands. I'm going to say bars for bar. At the end of the day, he will get bars. Okay, that's what I read on. Let's put the devil and the 10 of wands together, folks. Haunted House Tarot. I wonder if I know there's a glare, but I think you can see the cards a bit better. Ooh, now if I just don't move, right? Like this? Hi. Um, so here we go. Oh, good, human generic. It's a pleasant surprise to get up this morning and find you on a live chat. Great way to start my day. I'm so glad. I am a night owl. I have been. If you're wondering if you're, you know, looking back at what I'm doing with the cards, these are the cards I'm getting for bar being behind bars. That's yeah. I'm a yes. I'm getting the devil and the 10 of Wands. Okay. I'm also seeing that Bannon is being thrown under the bus by Trump. Forgive me for any glare on my glasses, but I can't take them off. I need them to see. Okay, will Donamato, will there be a Trump presidential library? Oh, come on, Don. I would love, let's see, to see if Barr's kids who work for Trump will also be in legal trouble. Okay, let's take a look. Barr's children, I weren't, to be fair, I was not aware of them. Barr has children apparently working for Trump. Will they find themselves in legal hot water? For Barr's children working for Trump. He will lash out. He will go into meltdown. We're going to see a new level of meltdowns from him. His head's going to spin. It already is spinning. So you could tell by the way, even that he mentioned Barr. And I think that he did know, but he doesn't really get how things work. I think somebody probably told him, and he knew in advance. But Bannon, I'm sorry, Bannon is not going to bounce the way he thinks he's going to. Although I think that they will try. I think he's being put under exactly. Don Amato, official comedian in the live chat. I love it. Yes, it will be full of all block letters and short excerpts of his presidential reminders. And it will probably contain, a very scant, if they were to make one. Oh my God. It would be an obscenity. He doesn't. I agree, Renee. I don't think he gets his actions have consequences. He's never had them, you guys. He's never had them. That's what it's so hard for me to get my brain around. And I think for many of us is how does he doesn't have conscience and he hasn't had consequence. He has been bailed out all his life. And when it wasn't any longer by daddy, it was by mobsters and Russian mobsters and Putin and other weirdos that have the political agenda. And he has been doing that and working with them for the last 30 some odd years. And he is well and truly drunk the Kool Aid. He is beholden to them. And that's why it's like a cult. It is a cult. Putin has the same playbook. He's using a Putin-esque playbook. Trump has never faced consequences. Yes, he's no experience. Agreed. Can you read on Christopher Wray, head of FBI? I did a reading on him last week, and he's under tremendous pressure. Thanks. Okay. That was from Erica. All right. Well, we'll take a look. Comic books only. Some comic books, like, graphic novels, are way cool. It wouldn't be a graphic novel. Although it would be great if somebody does a graphic novel where he's the villain. I'm sure that somebody has. I'm just not hip to it right now. If I get hip to one, I will put a link up because I love graphic novel style. So, Christopher Wray. I'll take a quick look. Head of FBI. Pressure. Okay. I'll look at Christopher Wray. Oh my God, Patty B. This is golden what she's just said. Trump has no friends, just accomplices. That is the truth. And he's throwing them under the bus. It has really, I think he's kicked off his response by throwing Bannon under the bus. I don't see Bannon coming away from this with the clean behind. And I don't see Trump coming away from this. I see it blowing up in his face because he blessed, apparently, these scammers. They scammed people out of a lot of money. And I remember seeing it online and thinking it was sketchy as hell. How was, this going on as long as it did? Okay, so I'm going to look at Christopher Wray. I'm going to break away from the chat for a moment. If you see anybody, if I don't notice somebody trolling, and I trust you guys, just please report them and let me know, and I will put them in a timeout and block them up and that kind of thing. Okay, Christopher Wray. Okay, Christopher Wray. Let's see how he's looking. Can we look at the issue of Christopher Wray, head of the FBI's pressure? I haven't really read on Christopher Wray, I gotta say. I mean, there's so much you can read on, plus the own issues that I have with my own health and limit of time and energy. Man, it's hard to keep up with all the people. This is a mess, you guys. A mess. But you know what? We are not to get down or glum about it because we're going to clean up the stink pile. So be energized. Get hold of that righteous anger. But be careful. Okay. Christopher Wray. I'm sorry, it's taking me a while to focus. Christopher Wray. Okay. 3 of Cups. So this is a celebration. It's social. And Ace of Swords. He's celebrating something coming out. It is truth. It is justice. I believe when I see that sword with somebody involved in that line of work, I believe that it's definitely something being revealed, coming to clarity. And he's celebrating something. Oh gosh, look at the ash under my nails. Actually don't. But it's what it's like when you use a wheelchair. Your hands are constantly getting crap on them. Not crap, but okay, it's late. You know what I'm trying to say. Anywho, so there we go. Ooh, that's a good resolution there. Christopher Wray. These are the cards for Christopher Wray. So we're seeing him feel like celebrating. He is feeling something like is going to come out that makes him very happy. That's all I have to say. And he feels there's 8 of Swords. It has to do with some issue of 2 8s. Ooh, 8 of Swords and 8 of Pentacles. So it deals with earthly matters. It deals with finance. It deals with information that may have been held back on, where something's been stuck. This could be campaign money. Sorry, I'm late. Hello, Heidi. It gives you a lift to see your work make things happen. Yes, cardiomancy. We love just the way you are. Oh, thank you, Morton. I know what it's from. I used medicinal cannabis, so I was tapping something out. So anyway, uh, I'm saying it's weird. He gets 8 of Pentacles and 8 of Swords. So he's celebrating Chris Ray. Now that we're this is on Chris Ray. Somebody wanted me to check him and his pressure. Okay. Something's going to come out that I feel that Chris Ray feels relieved by, and has a sense of celebration or positivity about, that really is a boost. It has to do with finances. 8 of Pentacles and 8 of Swords. Something where money was an issue, where money was stuck or being held. Or is this to do with an arrest with money? Yet to happen. It is to do with funding or money that is built upon. And one would even say labor. Is this based on the wall? Is it something to do with that? I don't know. But it shows me that he looks to be okay. Because something that was, I feel like, stuck will be revealed. Or it will be going into a mode, I think, of being revealed. 7 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, you guys. So it's still money based, and it's like a structure of something gets exposed or revealed. The way something was planned or plotted or laid out, how it worked, the pieces, mechanism comes out. So something that they're working on is they're going to be able, he's going to be happy. I see something coming out that is very beneficial. And it's a change with that Wheel of Fortune. And we get, again, the works of human means with the the 7. I don't know what I'm talking about now. 7 of Pentacles and the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's still financial works, earthworks based. This is on Christopher Ray. So there's more stuff. I'm telling you, there's going to be more information that comes out. I think his money laundering for Russia most definitely will get exposed, in as well as all this other stuff. Someone else mentioned earlier, like layers of an onion. Definitely. It will be like layers of an onion, just more and more, and just kind of like purging. Sorry, but that's what I feel. I feel like it's kind of like the universe vomits them back up, like they're going to be in a completely different world than they expect and were used to, where they were able to find a back channel to bail them out, to get them out of trouble. People like Trump and Bannon and Putin, I think, are being put on notice that their villainy and lifestyle is over. The time for that is done. And there is a more significant power collectively that exists than their mere ability to pay somebody to do something. There's a power that is beyond their reach, that is going to set them in a much more confined position. Yes, his crime's getting exposed so fast now that he and his enablers, yes, can't deal with it. That is what I am shown. It's what I've been being shown. But it's just saying, and more information's going to come out, more people. Um, it's just not going to go their way, no matter their games. That's, I wish I could say, and this is exactly how the universe is going to do that. But God works in mysterious ways, or your concept of an intelligence to the universe, or what you don't believe in is the case, so maybe. I don't know. But I believe there is an intelligence. And I was shown, if you looked at the video I last made, that generationally speaking, the Trump family is just not in a good place. They are about ready to see the script get flipped. Um, this is a change in era, and they in this new era do not get away with and cannot find enough support for keeping them in power. It's going to get shifted. They've caused it by their own criminality. That's the irony. I cannot watch Trump, only in very limited doses of having to. Um, and because he does, I have to say, I did catch the last bit where he is shown his response to Bannon being arrested, and he looks down, and he is very low energy, and he just says, "I haven't dealt with him in a long time," type of comment. It didn't seem strong. It didn't seem energetic. It was low key. I'm willing to watch some of the RNC. I'm just out of curiosity. I honestly do not know how much I can stomach, to be honest. I have thought about using bite gloves and stuff. They do get hot, and I don't like it because they cause your hands to sweat. And it's very hard for your hands to breathe. But I'm pretty much at home when I go out. I have bought a pair of gloves for going. The only place I tend to go is to my doctor's appointments, but it's enough. And I needed some gloves, so I have bought some. They're pink and they're very flexible, but when I'm at home, I don't wear them. So that's why my hands are going to get bashed up and grimy. Sorry. Normally, I'm on point. I have got like a nail set. I have got, and I know how I've been giving myself a manicure. I took off my old nail paint, but yes, chamomile tea is very good. But when I do an on the hop type of reading like this, sometimes I'm, I miss a step or two. But it's very typical because I was relaxing. I was chilling tonight. Um, so anyway, going to look at. I just, tonight has been interesting, and today is that the readings that I have given over the last couple of days, especially, have come out with more cards showing me confinement of Trump. Cards that depict bars have been reoccurring, and not just on Trump, but then on people associated to him. So we are going to start to see more people getting arrested. Um, that beginning, the litigation is opening up. Chamomile is really good. I love chamomile because it's one that I have generalized anxiety disorder. So I and know how the anxious mind works and thinks. And chamomile is one of the is part of my pantry. With what I've been through these past few months, you've earned some chill time. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. 90 days in a skilled facility that was of no real ability to use my medical cannabis. Um, I prefer using it because it is relaxing, but it doesn't. I find that I end up using my opioid based medication. I have a limited scope of pain medication, first off, that I can use, just to let you all know. And I don't have to use that as much when am able to use my medical cannabis. So ash under my fingernail, that's what it's from. Now, I'm just looking, trying to catch up. Renee says, when I read that book, I want to slap Ivana for letting him near my children. So chamomile helps. Yes. Yes. You need something, for some people, I can't drink. I don't drink alcohol at all, by the way. And no, I'm not making any judgment on anyone that does. Not interested. He's made more people depressed. He's put up, like, I had to increase my antidepressant for sure, and I think that's normal. If consider yourself lucky, I'd say, if you didn't have to find something to help you relax, because this is not normal. I can't watch any of the characters of the regime. Limited doses, really and truly, you are what you kind of consume. And that's why I really do advocate mindful consumerism of this stuff, because it's regurgitated, really toxic lies that you don't need to expose yourself to, but to just kind of keep track of. So you the added benefit with the cards is that you can see that despite your fears, things are going to be okay, and that we are going to go in a better direction, and that this is necessary to rebuild on a foundation, a government that has a better foundation than we've ever had. I feel like that's real critical. I had to stop watching the news. It was making it so hard for me to stay positive. Yeah, I don't watch the news. I really don't. I read it. I found that when I switched how I intake and how much I intake, that I don't just stay on Twitter all day. Uh, I can't stay on Twitter all day. It makes me sick. It will really, literally, and not Twitter can be a great thing, but I don't want to fear tweet all the time, or it's great for jumping on and jumping off. My whole family lives in Georgia. Oh my God. My dad still lives in Missouri, and I have family in Nebraska, some that support Trump, some that don't, members of the same family. This is not unusual. I feel for them. Uh, and so I can appreciate. My next door neighbor is actually a Trumper and made some comment to my daughter, who works at a 7-Eleven, about masks. And I just thought, really? That is some passive aggressive crap. Not today, bitch. Right, Robin. Once a day, I think you I think that when you can kind of take your own pulse and you can kind of feel like what is keeping you up to date, but keeping your anxiety and depression level at a bearable um, to functional level is important. Okay, I think the Trump toilet brush is an essential item for the new era. When I get stressed, I go on TikTok or a huge dose. Yes, that's why, like, I will look at Instagram or I will look at Save a Fox. I think I've even put a playlist, you know, basically kind of like a chill playlist, and it's got like a lot of animal videos and lightening up because I have got to stay lightened up. I got to keep the positive flowing because even with people like NightOwl and people that I appreciate, I can't watch that stuff so much. It becomes redundant after a certain point. So, if I get it, it's like, okay, I don't want this rehashed in 1,000 different ways unless there's something very essential that they are relating. I'm not going to loop it in my head. I already have trouble enough to sleep. So often I'll focus and read the cards instead. That's what I do. I am screwed. My husband and my whole family are rebubbly uglies. Oh. I'm living in Fremont, Nebraska right now, and the last 2 years I've seen people in this neighborhood has changed and not in Trump's favor. That's good. That's positive. I have family in Omaha, Grand Island, um, near York. Um, so I don't know where Fremont is, but Nebraska's a large state. TikTok is my happy place. So much positivity there. That's really good. My Instagram is like that, um, for the most part because I keep it very uh, few, very few. I don't allow. Um, it's not open. It is a lockdown account. It is not open, and so the control of that flow enables me to have a social media source that is positively, and expressive and free, when I can relax on there. We over here also have Trump people who love them, especially. They're everywhere. They're just fascists, and unfortunately, they're at their doing their last gasp. Um, because I really see the world changing and more movements going after this fascist power that is seeking to corrupt the stability of the world. That's what we have going on globally. That's interesting, Dawn. Dawn says that she lives in small town, and normally, like around in 2016, you would see a lot of Trump signs up and out, and she hasn't seen any yet. Yes, essential oils are really good. I use them myself. You're lucky, Robin. Most of your neighbors are people in the medical field. You have decent neighbors. I'm in California, Northern California, and my next door neighbor, who is a former friend, is a raging Trump tard. Is it lavender, Renee? I'm just curious. So let's see. Let me see. I'll do something here. How about I use the cards and do a little reading again? Okay, so we'd figured out that Bannon's being thrown under the bus, that he was given a green light, but this is going to blow up in his face and in Trump's. It's not going to quite work out so well as a distraction. And we see that Barr gets the devil card and the 10 of wands when asked if he's going to be put in prison. I took that as that Barr card. Barr gets the bars card. So just to recap. Okay, let's look at the virus real quick. I really am concerned for the firefighters too here. And gosh, when I was, one of the things that I really noticed in being in that skilled nursing home, basically, for 90 days is how much they come out to nursing homes. The people that were dying of COVID and were dying from other things, and there were people that did die while I was there. The fire department comes out for all these. First, they are the first responders, truly. And I have so much respect for them. Um, I really want them to not have to deal with fires and to be able to help people um, in emergencies that are not to the scale of a fire and that kind of thing. Um, very worried for them. They get fatigued. They get tired. Respiratory recipes with oregano, basil, and geranium. Looking for the other with lavender. Please feel free to post them. If you want to, in a response to my thread on my community tab, if you want to, and I will put up a community tab for about essential oils because that's something I meant to do so that people have a resource because with the fires, with COVID, with respiratory issues, all that stuff is really good. Yes, Trump continues to support racists. Thank you. Good night, Mindset Lorraine. It was wonderful to have you this evening. And thank you to all who are here. Oh, wow, there are 50 people here. No idea. Just to recap, if you're just coming in, and thank you for those who might be needing to sign out. Thank you so much. Um, I've looked at Bannon and I've looked at Barr, uh, and both of them are going to be in trouble. And Trump is going to be in trouble. He's in desperation mode. He's throwing Bannon under the bus, but it's going to explode back on him. You know, it's. I think he's given some heads up to Bannon, but I think that there are other people that are coming up with these ideas. I think they just run it past Trump and he just puts his stamp of approval on it, just like he did the guys that were caught with Bannon with the frauding of Trumpsters of their money for the wall. It's a federal offense. It's a big deal. He's not going to get off lightly for this. He's posted bail, but I don't think that Trump is going. Trump's already indicated that he's going to pull that. I didn't, trying to distance himself. He's thrown him under the bus and he's trying to walk away. Bannon's, coming out of the jail cell with bus marks across his shirt. Even though I think he's putting a certain face on it, he should be careful because, Epstein got caught. These people, you know, when they get thrown under the bus, they become liability because they have worked with usually so many other um, criminals that, you know, they could end up in trouble. Good night mindset, just to make sure. Respiratory tea with Mullen. I may not be saying that right. I've not tried any of that. I'd be willing to try that. My daughter, also one of my daughters, has a bit of a respiratory issue. So let's just look real quick. I am going to look at the issue with this virus. Will this virus really, because I always did see it as having an impact on Trump's presidency, because I saw that he would be trying to get people to go back out into public too soon and that kind of thing. So, for you have asthma, human generic. Yeah, Trump doesn't take responsibility for anything except ratings, anything. Yeah. He's just there to take. You're expendable. And that's what he gave the signal of, like, Bannon, you're on your own. So I want to look at COVID just for a minute. Let's take a look at the virus and if it's going to be dying down a bit. Didn't mean to use that word. Okay, I'm going to focus on the COVID virus and trying to ask what we can expect it to be doing. What is the trend for it? Asking ancestors and creator to help me relay that. COVID. Okay, well, we get the 5 of Cups. People are still sick. Okay, and it's lingering. Again, I get a flash on people still having a rise, still having cases coming up because people aren't doing their part. Social distancing. We're really going to be held to a very hard yardstick, I think. Right now, they're saying that the younger generation, young people, are the key contributors right now to the spread and to the cases. 5 of Cups we're getting with regard to COVID. It's still going to go on. And we get the Page of Wands. So we're still, I feel like this is about data. And this is about, I feel like, collecting information and an understanding about it. This shows that, to me, also COVID is still active. It still has life in it. It's still going on. And we need to not become complacent. As unpleasant as being masked up may mean. Hello, Positive Tales. It amazes human generic. It amazes me with the illness and death that Trumpers say it's a hoax and will disappear. Knows up for disaster. Absolutely, because that doesn't look like that's. These 2 cards are on. I pulled on COVID. It still shows it, unfortunately, very much in a youthful start with that Page of Wands. It still shows it as energized. And the first card I pulled was the Five of Cups. It's about people being sick as hell. Okay? And it being communicable, and people being sick. So, because we don't have the right, things consistently across the country. And it shows also that there is covert behavior going on. I think where the vaccine is concerned, I feel like that Queen of Cups, it could be Ivanka, but it can also be, for me, even just the vaccine itself, the medication itself, the fluid that you would inject, that there's a lot of deceptive crap going on. There's a lot of it concerning, I think, the vaccine, especially with Russia. I mean, they were spying. Plenty of time for deniers to get ill between now and the election. Yes, there is. You're in Florida, Phelan Rowan, and it's still going strong. I'm in San Mateo County in California, and it's increasing here. Though people don't, I see more people wearing masks than not. And there still are people that will come into our 7-Eleven in town and give my daughter a hard time about having to wear a mask. You still get the odd jackass, but the cops are very responsive to coming out and dealing with them. These people are also people that are living at an apartment complex that another one of my family members works at, and there's shared community space of the pool. There have been problems with some tenants not wanting to wear the masks, but largely that is a certain type of person that tends to have been drinking and that kind of thing. So I think this shows that there is still very sketchy behavior where, as I'm saying, a vaccine is concerned, and it's warning us that we should be taking care. Especially also with the Queen of Cups, I feel like, it vapor. And as we know, when we talk, when we sneeze, when we cough, there's this plume that we don't even realize, unless you've watched that video of what it looks like when they filmed it. They shouldn't think that that is a hoax. They should believe that it's real because it is. And that's what I'm being shown. This is on COVID. Yeah, look at this. So people are fighting, I think, also over the vaccine and how to make money soon enough. So I feel that they will be getting sick. This doesn't show any trend of slowing down anytime soon that I've seen yet in the cards so far. It's energized, it's going around, and it's complicating and creating chaos. They just started the school across the street from me, opened it up. I really don't know what their plan is. I didn't think that they would do it so soon, but I'm going to have to go and check out their internet site and see what they're doing, because I can hear people parking up outside of my house all day long. I'm just glad I have a tall fence. They are supposed to be masked up in San Mateo County. So, all I can say is when you go out in public where I live, you're supposed to be masked up. Or, have it with you. It's one thing if you just take it off for a second and you're putting it on, but you should not be out there without one on. It doesn't matter if you're walking or not, or running. I did see a woman running without a mask, and she should have been slapped. Yeah, I don't understand why Trumpsters aren't wearing masks and social distancing to get this under control. Why is so that people can go back to work and school. That's the only thing that's going to work. They don't get it that this is not at their convenience. They don't seem to get that this is not an option. This is not about getting things and having their privilege being acquiesced. That's why. Here in Switzerland, Patty says life is pretty much back to normal. School started last week with no health problems, thankfully. Oh, that is amazing. And you know what, Patty B, that I'm glad to hear. I'm very glad to hear because that is an example of, they're doing something clearly right that we can look at and the rest of the world can look at and say, we need to emulate what they're doing with our population. How can we do something similar here? You know, definitely. So this, is still going to be kicking up a fuss. It's if they think it's going to disappear, I can say it's not. There's one thing I wanted to read on too about. Oh gosh, I probably won't know how to say her name right. What is it? Maxwell. I'll just go by that. Is it Ghislaine? I don't know. She's just. I remember reading back on Jeffrey Epstein, and because it was such rank, nasty energy, I didn't like to read a lot about it. In addition to all the other stuff that I'm already like reading on cold cases and stuff that you guys may not know of on my spare time. I don't always, record what I'm reading on. I do a lot of readings, and so I'm just seeing as I do this that certain things, certain signs are kind of coming along. And it's very hopeful. I must tell you, despite whatever Trump may do, no matter, despite the horrible things going on in the world, with Navalny was uh, Putin's arch nemesis that he tries to kill on a routine basis. This poor man, Mr. Navalny, is amazing, really. Um, I think you got to, no matter what. I'm not able to read a whole lot of Russian without help from a translator and trying to sit there and figure it out. But I've followed him a bit as much as I can, and not here, unfortunately, recently, but I just understood that he has been poisoned again by Putin. So I want to look at him. We can do that, okay? Are any of you familiar with Navalny and Putin and the back and forth that has been going on between them? Putin has imprisoned him for years now, and it sounds like I need to check on him and see how he's doing because I've overheard that he was poisoned. Elderberry, by the way, great stuff, folks. I've used it. Um, Keep it in your pantry and use it for the respiratory issues and stuff and colds. Really good stuff. And it tastes pleasant. I can get it at one of the stores here in town, but there's always online. Unfortunately, we are finding that like I have to order supplies every month for just my needs. And things like gloves and certain, as people realize certain disinfectants are really hard to find. But check out online. And I would say that elderberry type of stuff, especially as we go toward fall and November, because I personally think that this will be pretty gnarly, potentially with COVID. This, if we get flu on top of COVID with, oh God, that's just all the more reason to really not be around a lot of other people. Ooh, lucky elderberries grow behind your house. That's one thing I really look forward to doing when I finally am able to move and heal up, is I look forward to container gardening a bit again. Clang Clang, Mac Wills and the Slammer, a song by the Founders who do great satires about Trump and company. Oh, that's too funny. Okay. I want to look at Maxwell and see if what her future looks like. I'm just going to let the cards tell us. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Ancestors Creator to help me see Miss Maxwell's trending. Because again, that's what all means of divination does. We have free will, but one of the interesting things, not to lead me back if I get astray, one of the things that I noticed with Trump is that I'm getting more and more messages of like I've been saying, like the universe letting him know, hey, your time's up. You're going to get cut off. So I heard he's in ICU on a ventilator. Who is that? Who is on ICU on a ventilator? Trump was there to meet on a plane. Putin's plane landed in a state supposedly to deliver their vaccine. I cannot remember the state. Their vaccine is a cover. Something else needs to be hand delivered. Okay, let's take a look at that, Jackie. Sorry, I didn't see that because I'm getting distracted. I'm thinking about other things I can read on. But we'll get to, she's extra. I have to say about Maxwell is that I saw sometime back that she might be herself in danger. I saw that Epstein would be, and I saw that she likely would be. So I want to convey that. I do think that she could end up in danger. Because, when you mess with the royal family, they have people too. This is more than one person, more than one entity with secret ops at their disposal to shut you up. So I'm going to look at Putin and this plane, wherever it landed, and the vaccine issue, what was handed over. Let's look at that. What was handed over? Was it a vaccine? I think the reading that I did on COVID earlier shows that there's the sketchy stuff about the vaccine. I wasn't even aware of that. Okay, so let's take a look at Putin and Trump with this vaccines business. And what was it that was delivered? Let's put it this way. What was delivered that is supposed to have to do with the vaccine for Trump from Russia? What was actually, can you enlighten us? The moon. It was a deception. This is some deception that they're having on us. Surprise, surprise. The moon, there, if I go over this way. So they have the moon as far as what was given. And we get the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like there was a female, actually person, that was utilized in some way. Like delivering whatever goods or bringing something. There is a Queen of Pentacles. Lovers. This is about partnership. This is about who you do business with. And the Sun. This is indicating to me together that this is a joint, um, definitely covert action. There's a female, an adult female, that is energy that's indicated with that Queen of Pentacles and the Moon, plus the Lovers and the Sun. They are in cahoots with each other. There's some bullshit going on with whatever they brought in. Um, so there's something shady as hell. And it's something that may come out because there's the sun and we had the moon. First, we had the moon and the Queen of Pentacles. There might be a female that is exposed as being involved in something sketchy with that vaccine state delivery. That's right. Um, they had stated that it would really take, I've read that too, a couple of years for them to be able to come up with a vaccine that's safe. Um, and I certainly wouldn't take anything that Putin's made. You know, it would not be lined up for that. Probably has plutonium and Novichok in it. Because again, he just poisoned Navalny again. So there's some relay, I feel like, with the Lovers card. It's a relay of some, I think, clear instruction or clear indication, support from Putin. That's what it looks like. It was something covert. Absolutely. I'm getting the moon and the sun. And what it was, I think, will end up coming out to the light of day, literally, with that sun. And that they're very firmly enmeshed. The Nine of Cups and the Six of Swords. Well, this is, a journey something that's supposed to make you better, but this is trade. This is trade in something that may not be anything more than snake oil, because the Nine of Cups can be a reputable merchant or it can be a dishonest merchant that is smug and wants to make money off of people. And the Six of Swords, to me, makes me feel like it's under the guise of this pandemic, making money basically off of it. It's despicable. They're making money off of what's killing people. And they're telling people, here, go use this vaccine Putin's come up with or whatever. And it's not a good idea. It's all about money. It's not going to help anybody with that Two of Swords. This is just about how to make money deal, how to make money off of COVID. Now I'm going to look. Could it be something Trump wants taken back to Putin? Oh, I think absolutely. I think there's a kind of a multifaceted thing, because there's a woman that I am shown, a court card of a woman, covertly, I feel like having something to do with this moon card. She could be somebody like an agent he's sending over to retrieve and to give information. It's like it's, I think, both. It's not one thing or the other. I think it's also a means of making the primary goal behind this as a means to make money and to stall, I think, people a little bit, especially if they can say, but Trump has recommended that people take Putin's uh, Russian vaccine. There's a lot of worry. I just think they are preying upon people that are worried, and they're preying upon. Um, I think they're preying upon the vulnerable that are they can make money off of. They might say, well, a small number of people may have a bad reaction, but overall, it's not going to do them any harm. I could see them saying something like that to each other. They're so greedy that anything justifies the means. And I that's what I see it dealing with is like, and how we can, it's Putin trying to find a market and Trump giving him one through his, I think, foolish um, supporters. People, I can't think of anybody else that would say Trump is, connected to this vaccine. You want to get it? No. I want to get that as about as much as I want to get a poke in the eye. Putin could be selling Trump a bunch of poisonous vaccines to kill Americans. Yeah, he well, and why not? There was only the bounty put on our military's heads. What would he think? He's been sloppy with Novichok in the UK. He certainly wouldn't mind being able to get in there and make some more Americans sick. He's a very evil man. And when every time I read on him, I get the most evil, screwed up cards. How stupid does he think the DOD is? I'm sure they have been spying on his shenanigans once realizing he can't be trusted. Well, exactly. These guys have become so emboldened that they think that they can act like Putin. And they have been pretty much been able to by the compromised GOP. So, exactly, Putin's trying to make a buck off of Americans before the door slams shut. Really disgusting. So I'm going to look at Navalny now for want to address Navalny's issue. Okay. How will Navalny be? Putin has poisoned him again. Can we get a look at Navalny? His first name is Alexander Navalny. Watch all the Trump trolls, not Putin trolls. I've had a lot more of them hanging around. Let's see. Okay. I want to look at Navalny because he really would do a world of good for the Russian people. And it is sad that he, oh my God, you talk about a man that keeps getting poisoned by and sent to prison and horrible by Putin. Okay, Seven of Pentacles in the Tower. Well, to me, this is wanting to, this is a situation where I think he's looking maybe at how it was that he came to be poisoned. With that Seven of Pentacles, it is looking at a method, it is looking at a plan. Um, and the Tower is sudden chaos. And certainly being poisoned is certainly sudden chaos. But this is also out of desperation, it feels like. Putin is so utterly desperate to disable this man, to kill him. And he's very committed to it. So we're looking at that. Oleander oil, that's poisonous, yes. My Pillow guy is selling oleander. Oleander is, do you guys remember that film with Michelle Pfeiffer? And it was the book, something Oleander? Really good. God, that is extremely toxic. My Pillow guy is trying to poison people now. So I'm seeing maybe more support being for, well, firstly, I need to check Navalny's sign, zodiac sign. Can somebody do that? 10:30 a.m. in Zurich. Ooh, wish I was there. Beautiful sunny day, already 81. Go for a run. Enjoy it, Patty B. Enjoy lovely Switzerland. I'm just going to look at Navalny. I started, but I want to retrain my mind on him. That's awful. Oleander oil. Good grief. I'm going to be wrapping this up. I'm going to just, because it's 1:29 a.m. my time, and I'm sure people are getting tired, although there is 57 people in the room. Hello to you. I hope that you have a good morning, no matter where you are. I am going to round up this current chat in about half an hour, okay? So I'm going to look at Navalny right now with my cards. Does anyone know what his birth date is? What zodiac sign he is? I just want to make sure. Yeah, that was a good movie. White Oleander, that's what it was. Watch that film. That freaked me out. That's what introduced me firstly to that oleander. Plus that, there was a plantation that was rumored to be haunted by a woman that put oleander in a cake. I remember that too. Oleander leaves, I think, and it killed people. But I digress. I'm wanting to look at Alexander Navalny and Putin, saying that Putin had poisoned him again. What's happening for him. What can I show? What can I relate to them more about Navalny that's more focused? Because I'm getting tired and I'm a bit scatty. Two of Cups. He has a lot of support. That's one of the reasons why, and he's been able, I think, to stick around and be, he's got a lot of support, but he is like a martyr. That's worrisome to me. That 10 of Wands, Putin does target him to make him miserable. And I think for the people, he is like, this shows to me for the people there, they look, the people that support Navalny look at him like a martyr because he has to go up against this guy that has rigged the system and is poisoning him and sending him to prison. And he keeps coming back. 3:30 in Dallas, but you're a night owl. See, that's me. And I've always kind of run this way since childhood. My dad used to freak out and think because I would be sitting in the dark playing it scared him. He thought there was something wrong with me. This is the King of Swords, and Putin is an air sign. I don't know if Navalny is or not. I think this is probably Putin. Let's just see the following. Um, this is the card of the Chariot victory. So I think Putin is going to have his way. He's going to run with his will right over the top of the will of the people. He simply doesn't care. Navalny, he wants to crush him, in my opinion. And he doesn't care how the people feel about him. If he has to resort to murdering him, that's what he's going to want to do. And he's about doing it. That Chariot card means he's active. So Navalny needs to be careful. Yeah, because he's challenging his seat and he covets that seat. You know how he wants to be like the little czar. Trump is a Gemini, yes. That is true. Putin is a Libra. I have shipyard brain. Worked 45 years, never slept. Oh my God. Once you've kind of done that, I think you're kind of. Some people were just wired this way. We're night owls. So I'm thinking this is Putin because I'm reading on Navalny. I don't think it's Trump. And this makes more sense with it being Putin wanting to hold on to his dictatorship and targeting Navalny. He doesn't like Navalny getting all this attention. That's all the more reason for the world to show Navalny more attention. Seriously. Putin wants to be the one. This sounds familiar, huh? Putin doesn't like the fact that Navalny gets the attention that he does. And he wants to target the support for him. And I think dishearten people by, crushing him. Ace of Cups and the Hermit. But it shows that there is this group that remain, and they're really hanging on despite Putin's power and his ability to make their lives miserable. These people really can teach us about longevity and resistance. And they have their means of being discreet, of keeping going, despite Putin. They're looking also, I think, at, I believe, the makeup of what he's been poisoned with. I feel like this is like some kind of analyzing of what he's, not unlike they had to do with other dissidents that of Putin that have tried, like what was it, Litvinenko? I'm probably not saying his name right now, but I think you all will know if you've read up on Putin who I'm talking about, he was the one that was poisoned with plutonium in the tea. And he sent people over that left a trail of plutonium contaminated planes and hotel rooms, sorry, and places where they went. And he did the same thing with Novichok. Sloppy with the people going there to distribute this were sloppy. They didn't care if it killed innocent um, people in England. They didn't care. The Haunted House Tarot, definitely. This is the card that you think looks like it's from The Shining. I'm sorry about the glare. Yes, I think it's definitely taken from that film in its effects. It's the Haunted House Tarot, and it's really interesting. Yeah, I just see Putin continuing to target them in renewed campaigns and trying to shut down his means of spreading information, of sharing information. Navalny had and I don't know, I should look on YouTube, a site, but it's all in Russian, and I didn't ever see if there was like subtitles or something. I'd like to see if there is, because Navalny needs to get more attention. Putin would hate it. He suppresses, I think, the information from being going be, talked about globally, what he's done to this man. And, we just kind of end up hearing about these guys and end up dying, falling out a window, and being shot as they're walking with their girlfriends, being poisoned, feeling sick all of a sudden. But look at this. Look how he fights. Navalny is really fighting Putin. And he's fighting him on a deep, deep level. And he is putting up a really one hell of a fight, because it is not all out to the public's understanding. And I'll say that we hardly hear anything about it. Of course, Trump makes sure of that. Yep, like a 2-bit Donnie. It did. But it's Putin, and it's Navalny resisting Putin. This goes on with his need to and wish to manipulate and control the media of Russia. I'm trying to, sorry, find the sweets. Look at that. Okay, that's society. That's Russian society. And to me, the magician is about communication. And, this is the propaganda. And this is Putin trying to subvert Navalny's message, trying to shut him up, by whatever means necessary. Poison is perfectly fine with him. It's his preferred sadistic method. He doesn't like other people getting more attention. He's immediately threatened by it. So he's immediately threatened by Navalny getting the attention that he does court, which is incredibly brave. Navalny knows what type of person Putin is. He knows more than we do what to expect. And what it looks like is Navalny lasts because he has support in that country to try and help him. So he's hanging on by the support that he has within the people in Russia that don't want Putin anymore. Trump wishes that he could do exactly as Putin. The thing is, Trump doesn't seem to realize that Putin doesn't consider him as someone, I gotta get that light out of my eyes, sorry. Putin does not see him as someone who is um, on his level. I think Trump is under this big idea that somehow Putin thinks of him on the same or similar level. Putin thinks of, when can I drop this guy and watch him just dangle? That is going to be a very unpleasant, unexpected effect. Donnie's really not anticipating that, and that's what will be really hard for him because he's always used to someone coming and bailing him out. Well, Putin will get to a point where he's like, I'm done. And Trump will just have to endure. Okay, I'll put the light back on. That was scary. Okay. So let's just see. Putin. Let's see Putin's. Let's read on Putin's effect during our election for 2020. What is Putin's effect going to be? Because he's certainly trying now through Donald Trump to suppress the vote, through the postmaster, and trying to, taking away friggin' mailboxes. For real? It's for real. They're trying to suppress the vote every way that they can. They've already, that's already something that they're trying to do. But I just want to see at the end of the day, what is the result going to be for Putin? He's not going to like it because he's going to be change. I've been shown that. But I want to see if we can get his perception. How is Putin going to be after this election, or during the election? What's he going to do? Sorry. Got about 15 more minutes. Thanks, Geraldine. Okay. I want to look and see how Putin will fare with our election. Well, look at him. He's going to be active, and he is already active. 8 of Wands. He's a very invested, shall we say, in Donnie. King of Pentacles. I get this for Don because he's so greedy and materialistic. And so is Putin, though. So it's really kind of interchangeable. They're both so greedy, they have that shared trait. So he's active. But look, he gets Judgment and the 3 of Pentacles. So Judgment comes down on the people that Putin is using to interfere in our election. The people such as Trump and the whole machine, so to speak. That's interesting and very heartening to see that the universe gives judgment on Putin's activity and those who are accomplices of his during our elections. Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords. He's trying to really exert a desperate rush of suppression any way that they can. I feel kind of like I'm repeating myself, but I'm just giving what the cards are relating. They realize too that, with this election coming up, there's going to be decisions that Putin makes. that I don't think Trump is completely uh, aware of. Putin will make certain decisions. There's certain decisions that they've agreed upon, but there's things that I think also Trump isn't smart enough to figure on. This is Putin. Look, he's really trying. He's going to, but I just don't think he's going to manage to come away successfully. The heat starts going on him. And his attempts that he makes uh, over and over again. To me, this Eight of Pentacles is the repetition of trying to screw up numbers, trying to suppress votes, trying all these, different means. And it looks like, it's pretty tiring for him. There's the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. There's a female, a fire sign. I think this could be Kamala. Nancy Pelosi, maybe just in general, women in power that, though, they have stamina. Because I think Putin wants to make sure that he can do everything he can to keep somebody from Kamala, like her, from being able to get in control and power. He's really shit scared of her. And he should be. So they are up to no good. Okay? They have certain tricks up their sleeve. Thank you, Charles Pat Abel. I enjoy your readings. Keep up the good work. Alexei Navalny, born June 4th, 1976. So let's see. Well, I believe that would make him yet a Gemini. It could be him. So he himself could be an air sign. That's Gemini, right? I know like early June, first week or two of it is Gemini. June 4 is Gemini. It is really the time of Geminis, isn't it? It's so weird. Yeah, Putin. Well, Putin's not a Gemini, but he's an air sign. But Trump and Pence are Geminis. There's so many Geminis, and not the good kind. With the exception of Navalny, I'd say Navalny is a good guy for sure. And Putin he's not a Gemini, but he is a Libra with a Scorpio moon. Oh, thank you, Theodore. Um, so he's not going to be very happy though, because look, though his efforts to do uh, dastardly, underhanded things during our election, it's going to cost him a lot. It's going to draw a lot of energy out of Vlad because he's not going to want uh, someone like Kamala Harris to get in power. So he's desperate. Ooh, sorry. God, it's so weird to try and do this. But I don't see him feeling like he was able to be very effective. He's going to support Trump until he doesn't have to. But it's for his own interest. It's for his own benefit. Because he does not want Biden and Kamala in power. Yeah, look. He's coveting and he's going to really give us some hell. He's going to realize that this is it. because once these people get in power, and they are going to get in power, don't worry. No matter how, they're going to get in power. There's going to be a shift, and that will mean that his plan for world domination is not going so well. Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So here's memory. Here is help, past help. So I think he will go to his trolls. He'll be doing some of the same bullshit, but it's old. And he's really going to be active trying. We're going to see him kick up a lot of unpleasant crap. He's trying to stir things up. I think he will have people actively trolling, actively trying to hack. He's already been doing that, trying to get our COVID information. Biden is a Scorpio. Biden is a Scorpio. I do know that. People who send money in to build that wall have too much money. They do. And it was just so obviously sketchy. And just seeing these, I was just remember thinking, my God, these people are drinking the Kool-Aid. This can't be right. I think I saw it on Instagram because I haven't had Facebook since 2016 of July. I deleted Facebook in 2016. Yeah, so Biden is a Scorpio. So Biden is a Scorpio versus Vlad, a Scorpio. Scorpio's facing off, man. Don't ever underestimate a Scorpio, okay? Seriously. My husband's a Scorpio. And those who are not the negative, the shadow side, are incredible with their sense of determination and intelligence and capacity. Joe can say silly stuff and things like that sometimes, but I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, he's capable. And he knows what's up. He knows what time it is. He is not fooled. 8 years with Obama, he knows a lot more than people thinks that he does. Scorpio and Libra, they don't really match. A Scorpio, a Libra, if they're better aspected, can play differently. But you see, Putin has a Scorpio moon, so he plays more like a demented Scorpio. Who better to get under his skin than another Scorpio? Oh, good morning, Nina from Sweden. Exactly, Charles. Scorpios are typically in a very positive way or for negative, but I think Biden is not the negative type at all. Very, very observant. They notice stuff, trusts. And Don Jr. speaking at any event just brings up, Don Jr. is the worst. He's one of the, I just really gut level built prison for him. So I'm getting that Vladimir will be very devoted to and active during our election. We need to keep our guards up and just be ready to demonstrate if we need to go and demonstrate in other ways that we can, because he is going to try his darndest to make sure that it is hard as hell. Um, he has a vested interest. He does not want to face down Biden and Kamala, but he will. I'm going to look at that. So let's see how much Putin will enjoy being faced down by Biden and Kamala. Because you know that once they can get in power, they are going to go after Putin. And I've always been curious how he will be treated because of what he has done and what he's played a massive part in. Trump only got in because of him and his interference. I do not see Trump doing it again. I really do not. Ah, that's good, Jackie. Scorpios are Libra's teachers. Uh, Harris is a Libra. I'm a Libra and had 3 Scorpio teachers of life within my life. There you go. They are. They life lessons, man. That's true. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Good night and stay well. And thank you so much for participating. I want to thank everyone for that. We have 53 people in here. I should wrap this up. This has been going. So I'll wrap this up for the next 5 minutes. But I see Putin being very active, and we need to keep watch of him. He's not only is he busy poisoning his dissidents and that are trying to challenge him, but he's going to be very much at work in the United States trying to affect our election in a subversive way. So let's just give one more look before I close out this reading and shift. Okay. I want to look at Biden and Harris coming through the election. Let's just see what the cards want to show us, okay? I'm sorry that your internet is slow, Theodore. Thank you, Charles. Good night, and thank you for your kind words. That it's always a pleasure to hear or watch my readings. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate people's feedback, and constructive feedback is fine. If there's something that someone doesn't like, I'm glad to be made aware to consider it or not. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to look at Biden and Kamala Harris, and I want to see how it looks like they will deal with Putin. Okay? Biden and Harris dealing with Putin. What can you show us? They know what time it is. They know that he's responsible for stirring up a lot of the hatred and the bigotry in this country, that he has whipped it up and set it off in motion. This only confirms that with the page of swords. And they plan on holding him to account. This is Judgment and the 5 of Pentacles, because a lot of people have suffered as a result, and our nation has suffered as a result. And Biden and Kamala, no problem, Robin. Yes, it has been, Heidi. We need more of it, and I think that we're starting to finally get where we can begin to see the beginning of progress. I see Biden and Kamala bringing Putin, holding him responsible for the misery and the damage that he's done. And not only to our nation, but other nations. All the crap that he's been pulling in other nations too. And they know that he is a manipulator with propaganda, and that has hackers and all of that. They are much more aware than we are. They also know that he has limits, and they're not going to, and I'm not going to publicly go into what those are, but let's just say they know some things that will take the air out of his tires, because they're done with it. So they have a plan for him. They have, they're not like Trump. Kamala and Biden actually have understanding what needs to be done with him, and how they're going to deal with him because of the past, and him using rogue ways and rogue people to infiltrate, to hack, to troll, to do all this kind of stuff. Facebook, all that stuff. And don't be surprised if they call it out. Yep. So it looks like they'll be calling out as quickly as it's going on him for what's going on. They'll engage him. And I think this might kind of stun him in a way, because they are going to point out the fact that they know that he's trying to keep control of the United States. That, we have someone from another country trying to control who our president is. Somehow they're able to really bring home that, and they are going to, I think, get help from allies, that there's going to be more information that comes out. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer Taylor. Karen Williams, I'm just reading your response. This is really interesting. I've never had interest in tarot card readings, but for the last few weeks, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. The fires have affected me. I've been watching them on YouTube, and they are all saying the same thing. Isn't that it? And I tell you what, Karen, I don't have a way to make these cards come out and repeat the same basic information. They come out, what I try and shuffle them, and I can only tell you the symbols that I'm getting and what makes sense to me, and I try to be as objective as I can. And when I don't know something, I'll say it's like the Queen of Pentacles, and like later we might find out then there's a person of a certain sign or a birth date that is what I've found. Trump is down to one briefing a week, and it's a crayon. Oh my God. They will totally prove that he's a Russian asset. Putin lost his invitation to the cookout forever. He won't get those back. That's right. He won't get those sanctions removed. The cards do. The cards will, and this is what the cards do, exactly what they're supposed to do. They indicate the trend. If things continue along the way they have, this is the most likely outcome. And it's amazing to watch and say, I don't believe it, and then shift. Things are shifting, and you have Biden come out and give a fantastic speech, and we start to feel a change in the air. It's palpable. And we will be tested. It will be tested. We can count on that because we have to understand how desperate Putin is to retain and keep us from being able to be a force to hold him accountable. I want to just see. I really feel this is just a gut level thing that I've been feeling and I've been seeing it happen is that Putin's decline also comes about as a result of a lot of harm that's been happening in their environment with the failures of their various toxic facilities. They're going to have more problems with that. And I think the people already are very unhappy with him. All the world needs to do is come together and hold Putin responsible. Putin has connection to China, of course, and but he must be dealt with. So let's just see how that looks like the world is going to deal with Putin for all his interference. That's what I want to know before I sign off completely. Is it true that when Donald staff even show him a picture of a cheeseburger, they can? Okay, I think Theodore, that's probably true. I'm gonna go with true. Why do I have a feeling he was a participant? Karen Williams. Who were you talking about? Trump losing, Biden. Da, 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 da. All I can say is that we are on the precipice of a great deal of change where we can truly begin to address long neglected issues. So I can't tell you exactly how they're going to do it, but they're going to win. And I see that happening. I do not see Trump winning. I see Trump consistently in trouble. And in ways that there's no way he can be a president and be in that kind of trouble. Although, I mean, he is right now, but he's not been held yet to account. And he will be held to account. He's not going to get away without feeling discomfort. I was shown that in my last video. I think there's going to be such an amount of emotion that opens up with this election. There's so much emotion that people have invested in it that the one way that we will begin to correct Vladimir Putin is with this election, because it will set a precedent. No matter what he tries to do, it kind of casts the die, so to speak. And I think that is the beginning of him beginning to lose some real leverage, because we will give him payback. The Russian people don't need to suffer any more than they already have under Putin. We need to come up with a smart effect, but it might have to be where it's left where the people will have to feel the pain and they will have to come to the point of just something desperate. I know Theodore always leaves some silly comments about Putin that and Trump that make me laugh. So just remember, Putin's the name with the name Putin, and Trump is Trump. They both have names after flatulence. that sound like flatulence. Oh, Epstein. I totally think that Trump was definitely involved. And I think Barr definitely took care of that, I feel. I don't think that's any surprise because you can follow kind of Barr's involvement. And I am concerned that Maxwell will probably could find herself in danger. Um, Not that I care personally about her, but I think that she should be made to spend a very long time in prison um, with no commissary that is cush, you know? That's right. Trump barely won last time. And really, it was by a thumbnail, a fingernail. He did not win by a large amount, not by a landslide, and he is certainly not going to uh, take it this time. He's going to, in fact, I think, find himself much more on the losing, unpleasant end of this. Hello, Sarah, TV Philippines. It needs to come out before the election. I believe so too, but how that will come about, I am not sure. It will be interesting. Let me just put it this way, because I do see all kinds of variety of dark, hidden stuff and activity being lit up, and more people involved being named and getting in trouble. Uh, I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to keep on top of. It's going to be hard to keep on top of the stuff rolling out. Yeah, Theodore. Okay. So I am going to go ahead. It's 2:15 nearly in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead because I need a shift and end this out. And I thank you for participating in this chat. And I thank you for those that were kind and were able to participate, come in, say hello, give a thumbs up. That is great. If you can't donate, thumbs up is great. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. And I wish you all uh, rest and peace, and to know that even though I can't tell you exactly how it's all going to come out, I can only tell you that I see a shift. We're entering a new era. Um, and we need to put our energies toward not being scared to death anymore, but toward fixing this nation. So I think if we have to demonstrate out in the streets in order to get Biden and Kamala in, then that's what we'll end up doing. Whatever we have to do, we'll be doing, and we'll be needing to pay attention because, you know. Thank you. It was so much fun, everybody. And I'm just reading Renee's comment, and Theodore's, of course, and Heidi's. But I wanted to understand Naomi's relationship, so I went searching, nosy, me, John Casablancas, and that creepy Frenchman that's missing a friend of. Oh, they go way back. That to me is another one to watch, because you're right, Karen. I think more on that child predation and child trafficking crap is going to come out. And I think Putin is connected and has connections involved in that, and that is going to end up coming forward. There's something with children with him. And it's just weird how I've been getting that. Thank you all. I am going to be avoiding the fires as much as I can. Um, it's another reason why I haven't been outside filming, because I don't want to be sitting out filming, and even though it can be sunny, it's still in the air. You can smell it. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to close this out, and I will have more live chats. They're so much fun. And y'all get some rest, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay? And the next live stream. Thank you and take care. Remember not to get lax with COVID. I don't think I have to tell any of you that. So, good night, good morning, and bless. Bless all of you. And thanks so much. You guys make this worth doing. Thank you. You're the best.